Cathedral Green afterwards. Now please stand for the procession. Thank you.
Please be seated. Chancellor, Sheriff of Chester, distinguished guests. A very warm welcome to you all as we gather together in Chester's magnificent cathedral on this very special day. My name is Jill Reeve and I'm Senior University Chaplain and Dean of Chapel. In addition to those of us gathered here in the cathedral, we are also joined by others online, and we extend a really warm welcome to each one of you as well. Gathered here in Chester Cathedral, it's worth noting the special relationship between the cathedral and the university that goes back to our roots as a pioneering and innovative teacher training college founded in 1839. Few teachers at that time had formal training, and Chester College was the first purpose-built teacher training college of its kind in England. If you had joined as the first 10 students in 1840, your general studies would have included geometry, algebra and bookkeeping, and in your spare time you would have helped to build our university chapel and even a steam engine. Back in 1839, the Dean and Chapter of this cathedral gifted the land that is now our Exton Park campus, just down the road from here. The relationship between the cathedral and the university remains an important one to this day, and we are grateful to Dean Tim and his team for their ongoing support. Our university has changed immensely since the 1840s, but our mission statement continues to express our roots and our foundational values, founded in faith, creating community, serving society. Our multi-faith chaplaincy team now has the joy of supporting a vibrant, diverse and international community of staff and students. Each one of you has made your own unique contribution in your time with us, and we are grateful to each one of you. And so, as our ceremony begins, I would encourage you to put aside all distractions, including worries about whether that cap of yours will actually stay on your head, and simply enjoy this very well-deserved moment. As we begin, let us unite our hearts and our prayers for each one of you graduating today. May you use your unique gifts and talents well, always mindful of the needs of others, and with a heart of care and compassion that is committed to a fairer and more just world. May you keep alive in you a spirit of inquiry and exploration, with an openness to question and be questioned in the search for truth, learning, and new insights. May you find before you new horizons and wider possibilities, and have the confidence to step out in faith with a sense of adventure, joy, and hope. And always let integrity be your guide. And may God bless you today and in all that lies ahead. Amen.
Permissum vicis in neo. I declare open this congregation for the presentation of degrees and awards. This is exciting. Good morning. My name is Giles Brandreth, and I have the honor to be the Chancellor of the University of Chester. What does being Chancellor mean? Well, the Chancellor is simply the ceremonial head of the university. The executive head is the Vice-Chancellor. The Pro-Chancellor, who you will be hearing from later, is the person who chairs the council. They're the people who do the work, who keep the show on the road. I am merely someone who turns up on gala days like this, dresses in this wonderful robes, and, well, I wasn't quite sure what I was supposed to do when I became Chancellor. So I called up other chancellors at other universities and said, what's involved? And they said, it's very simple. You have to turn up, look good, and as good as you can at your age, and then you have to speak to the people, offer them a few nuggets of wisdom, and then a firm handshake. That's about it. So that's what I hope to do today. But I do want to begin by saluting the people who really do the work. We wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be here, without the people who have taught you and the people who have helped you in this university over the last few years. You are here at the culmination of your journey, in large part thanks to them as well as your own endeavors. Can we begin by applauding all the people who've helped at the university? Brilliant. I want to thank somebody in particular today. If you study your order of service, and please be sure that you keep it in your memories box for the rest of your lives, for your children and grandchildren to marvel over, you'll see in the order of service, just before I come on at the end, the Chancellor, there is somebody described as the Esquire Bedell. Bedell is an old version of the word beadle, and the Esquire Bedell, it's a name first used in the reign of Edward VI in 1549. It was somebody who in the university would then, even all those centuries ago, carry the mace and lead the proceedings. And every time I, as Chancellor, have processed through this cathedral, it's been Steve Bird who has been the Esquire Bedell. He has been the head porter at our Warrington campus, and I think he's processed. When he became the head porter, he didn't realize he was also going to be asked to be Esquire Bedell and carry the mace, but he's done so quite brilliantly, and he has processed, I think, at least 250 times up the aisle here, and done so faultlessly. After his years in the Royal Air Force, you would expect precision, but we've got that from him in full measure, and charm and commitment to us. And so he is now retiring from that role. So can we please have for our Esquire Bedell a huge round of applause? Yay. Actually, these things wouldn't happen without people making them happen. And you'll have noticed the people dressed in red are the ushers. People dressed in blue, like the Esquire Bedell is dressed in blue. This, I now understand, is because when the university was choosing the colors for the robes, red was chosen for everybody, but the first Esquire Bedell, being an Everton supporter, was not to be seen dead in red, and consequently was allowed to appear in blue. So that's the reason that some of the robes are blue and some of the rest of them are red. But we also have somebody who is retiring today. He appears today as one of the ushers. Normally, of course, he is the conference manager. He does much more than that, but that's how people know him. And he has given 34 years of service to this university and the college before it. Can we please salute Robin Galley? He explained to me that his name was well chosen. He felt he had been a galley slave to the university for quite a few years and was ready for a break, but I think he will be back in a volunteering capacity in the future. So we salute all them. I want to salute too the Sheriff of Chester for coming along today. The support we get is fantastic. But I also want to salute this building. We are in an amazing building, one of the most beautiful buildings in Europe, and we're in it now. Don't take it for granted. As you enjoy today, look up, look around. Before you leave, look at the window behind you. It is so beautiful. This is a magnificent cathedral. 1,000 years of heritage in this building. More than 1,000 years of history, of course, in the city of Chester. As some of you will know, the word Chester comes from the Latin castrum, meaning fortified place. I had to look that up because though I was taught Latin at school, my Latin teacher was useless. A very nice man, Major Douch, a lovely man, but not a good Latin teacher. For many years I thought in loco parentis meant my dad's an engine driver. But Chester, if you think about it, think about this building, this city, has seen so much over so many years. Invasion, civil war, change, sometimes for good, sometimes for ill. And that's what the world is about. If you look at the television, look at the news, listen to it, or read the newspapers, you could think that the world is a really dreadful place and you could despair. And the world at times is indeed a dreadful, frightening, horrifying place. But it's also a good and beautiful place. And you look around this building and you realize some of the goodness and some of that beauty. So I would urge you not to look at the world and despair, but think, and this is the first of my nuggets that I'm going to offer you today. My first nugget is a quotation from the artist and writer William Blake, who once wrote, "He who would do good must do it in minute particulars." He or she who would do good must do it in minute particulars, essentially meaning you can't change the world overnight by talking about it, but you can change it by individual actions. And I hope you feel that you have been equipped through your learning and training here to go out into the world and by individual actions to make a difference. That's my first nugget. My second nugget comes from another favorite writer of mine, an American who chose to live in Britain, Henry James, wonderful novelist. He advised that there are three things in human life that are important. Three things in human life that are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. One more quotation for you. This is from another of my teachers when I was at school, a man called Mr. Stocks. And he was very old, and I don't know, he must have had another name, but I always called him Mr. Stocks. Anyway, he only said a few words to me when I left the school. He was the head teacher. He said, "Brandreth," because that's what they called you in those days, "Brandreth, remember this, busy people are happy people." Busy people are happy people. That's why I, at my age, am still out working, because I like to work. It's good to be busy. It's good to do things. I also do need the money. I have to be acknowledged. No, I do. I have 3 children and 7 grandchildren, and I've discovered over the years that money is the one thing keeping me in touch with them. At which point I think we who are graduating today should remember all the people who have supported us, loved us, family and friends, parents, guardians, who have helped see us through this experience. Can we please salute all those who have come to support us today and have supported us through our time here? So my message to you is be busy, be kind, and today be proud. What an achievement. I'm going to be shaking your hand in a moment, saluting you for what you have done over your time here and how you have actually secured your degrees, your diplomas. You've done it. Today's the day when you've done it. And you're going to be shaking my hand in a moment. That's the moment at which the degree or the diploma is conferred on you. You may think, well, shaking his hand, unless you happen to like Celebrity Gogglebox or This Morning or Countdown, it won't mean much to you. But I have shaken other hands as well. And I was reflecting on that. At one remove, I can give you lots of interesting handshakes. The first time I came into this cathedral was in 1992 on Maundy Thursday. And at that service was the late Queen Elizabeth II and our husband, the Duke of Edinburgh. And on that occasion, I was honored to shake their hand. They were both actually, great-great-grandchildren of Queen Victoria. So you'll be shaking my hand, the hand that shook the hand of the late Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, and therefore contained the DNA of Queen Victoria. So this is what we're giving you today, It may be at one remove that you're getting it. And you may be interested to know that among our honorary graduates from this university are the present King, King Charles III, and Queen Camilla. I conferred an honorary degree on Queen Camilla here only a few years ago. So you do get something quite special when you shake my hand, so appreciate that. But I hope I'm getting something quite special when I shake your hand. I've mentioned the people who are famous, but here they're going to be people who make a difference to the world. I was a professional politician. The reason I'm here is that I used to be the Member of Parliament for the city of Chester. So I am accustomed to making a noise. That's relatively easy. But making a difference is what counts. And I hope that you, from the education, the training, the experience you have received here, will feel you want to go out into the world to give a life of service, a life in which you can make a difference. So leave here today, go out into the world and be kind, be useful, be busy, be proud of what you've achieved, and be grateful to those who helped you achieve it. My hand awaits yours. Congratulations.
Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for admission to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduands to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of the University of Chester.
For a programme of study entitled A Hermeneutic Study of Para-Professional Mental Health Initiative Involving Medical Teams and Male Professional Footballers, Carolyn Jane Ellis. For a programme of study entitled Fireology, a social study of trust and role extension in the Fire and Rescue Service, Dean Alan Stevens. For a programme of study entitled An Ethnographic Investigation into Multidisciplinary Team Collaboration, the Role of Psychological Safety in High Secure Forensic Inpatient Hospital in Germany, Letty Theunissen Schuiten. Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for admission to the degree of Master of Arts in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduands to the degree of Master of Arts of the University of Chester.
Rachel Frances Cummings. Jo Mary Gomez. Julie Matthews. Sophie Leanne Morris. Tando Busi Sanduana. Zoe Spencer. Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you this graduand for the admission to the degree of Master in Education in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit this graduate to the degree of Master of Education of the University of Chester.
Andy Comley. Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for admission to the degree of Master of Science in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduates to the degree of Master of Science of the University of Chester.
Constanza Ambrose Meller. Lindsay Berry. Tanya Boulton. Janine Clifford. Janine Kelly Collins. Francesca D'Angelo. Kelly Jane Egan. Danielle Fahy. Tara Ann Haddock. Nishi Anikuma Haria. Christoph Hofer. Caroline Holroyd. Claire Kennedy. Jitesh Ladwa. Charlene Laherzi. Tracy Lees. Hitesh Mohan. Noor Us Sabah. Nancy Pirika. Eleanor Elizabeth Parker. Paul James Pollard. Nithin Krishnan Puturi. Thomas Ryan. Charlotte Smith. Kieran Toner. Henry Chidbiri Uchi. Michael Vakalis. Joanne Ward. David Gerard Whitslam. Katie Louise Wiggins. Elizabeth Jane Williams. Amy Elizabeth Wixie. Claire Louise Woods. Olga Julia Zahariv. Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for admission to the degree of Bachelor of Arts in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduands to the degree of Bachelor of Arts at the University of Chester.
Charlene Carroll Barnett. Natasha Birchall. Lucy Bowers. Nima Delaney. Jasmine Doyle. Jamie Driscoll. Danielle Edwards. Emma Louise Farrell. Sarah Jane Faulkner. Chloe Victoria Gazy. Recipient of the Jane Walker Prize for Social Work, Catherine Hanvey. Lindsay Hayhurst. Martika Hother. Laura Rachel Hudson. Jacqueline Hughes. Shauna Lee Hume. Tara Kelly. Lucy Mackenzie. Charlotte Macmillan. Elizabeth Ann Moyle. Caitlin Aoife Murray. Catherine Neal. Irene Oshodi Chigpa. Morgan Owen. Jacqueline Pearsall. Abigail Reeves. Chanel Ronaine Davies. Dylan Smith. Eliud Thomas. Sinead Susan Walmsley. Rebecca Wyatt. Laurie Wynne Williams. Rebecca Yates. Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for the admission of the degree of Bachelor of Science in this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I admit these graduands to the degree of Bachelor of Science of the University of Chester.
Claire Almond. Erin Baggy. Emily Jane Beattie. Julia Beddix. Alexandra Badnarchik. Mariam Baigum. Megan Blackley. Jessica Jane Bolton. Amber Bousama. Emma Bradshaw. Naomi Broderick. Lee Codling. Rebecca Charlotte Crump. Amy Cunningham. Tonya Cunningham. Danielle Devine. Julie Eddowes. Megan Edwards. Georgina Ettinger. Grace Fellows. Megan Holstead. Michelle Hancock. Lowry Catherine Hargood. Abigail Hennessy. Louise Hurridge. Rebecca Hayes. Lydia Hughes. Robert Ingle. Ella Grace Irwin. Cora Louise Javams. Abby Jones. Ephiza Khan. Natalie Legro. Katie Lloyd. Louise McMahon. Jade Millerwalk. Samantha Jade Morris. Caitlin Murray. Brittany Oze. Wendy Pickering. Tiffany Louise Robertson. Charlie Ann Robinson. Emily Jade Robinson. Jasmine Rose. Saskia Angel Rowlands. Eden Salisbury. Tatiana Simon. Katie Louise Sinclair. John Stewart. Vian Jade Orhilius. Jessica Wallace. Philippa Suzanne Waring. Emily Wheeler. Mia Williams. Danielle Jane Wilson. Christopher Windle. Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for the award of Foundation Degree in Sciences of this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I present to these graduates the award of Foundation Degree in Sciences of the University of Chester.
Deborah Grice. Stephanie Lockie. Elizabeth Milnes. Chancellor, in the name of the Senate, I present to you these graduands for the award of Postgraduate Diploma of this university.
By virtue of the authority invested in me, I present to these graduates the award of Postgraduate Diploma of the University of Chester.
Vicar Ashraf. Laura Gardner. Monica Graham. Aya Harari. Adnan Maan. Rebecca Louise Moss. Hamza Sharoof. Rupa Shishilad Haramaruthi. Chancellor, I make application to you to present the degrees and awards listed to those candidates at the University of Chester who have not been presented in person but whose name appear in the programme and who have indicated that they wish their degrees to be presented in their absence. I certify that they are worthy to receive those degrees and awards, and I stand as a proxy for them.
I admit them to those degrees and present those awards, and I accept you as proxy. I now invite John Stewart, graduate of the class of 2023, to address the congregation.
Hello everyone. So my name's John Stewart and I'm a recently qualified dietitian who studied here at the University of Chester. I'm originally from Newcastle, so apologies if there's any accent problems with the understanding. But I'm very thankful to be here and to be able to share my thoughts with you all today. So firstly, I think the most important thing is to congratulate all of my classmates and fellow graduates who are here today. It's a massive achievement and everyone's done so well. So if I could ask everyone to give a big round of applause for their great achievements. So I think the last 3 years we have faced some quite unique circumstances. So in lockdown, we had lockdown in year 1, which wasn't easy. And then in year 2, we had a blend of like online learning and masks, which again wasn't ideal. And as well as that, we had pretty physically and mentally demanding placements we had to overcome. So we had to stick together and we had to, I think it made us stronger as well. And I think in the long run, it'll make us better practitioners in our chosen fields and better people as well. So I think it's also important to give the University of Chester a big shout out, who've done a great job to give us a good platform to build our skills from despite those tough circumstances we had in the last few years. In terms of my favourite experience from university, there's lots to choose from, but I would say I was lucky to captain the men's tennis team in the second year. This was a sport I'd played for 11 years until that point. So every Wednesday would book the minibus with some of my best friends and travel around the northwest of England, Manchester, Wales to compete against other teams. We often, got with butts kicked, but I think that brought us closer as friends, and now they're some of the best friends I have, and I know I can count on them. So that was the good, but when there's good, there's often bad and challenges which we all have to overcome as well. For me, September last year, I was involved in a very serious car accident. And I'd destroyed the worst healing bone in the human body in my right wrist. So I waited 8 months this university year for it to heal, and it didn't. So just before placement this year, I had to go in and have surgery on my wrist. And that put not just like my future in sports in jeopardy, but it also put becoming a dietitian this year in jeopardy. So it was a very, very stressful time, but if it wasn't for the support of the tutors I had at university and the dietitians at Liverpool Heart and Chest Hospital, I wouldn't be able to speak with you now. Those people were so helpful to me. They really did go out of the way to at least give me a shot to get on placement when they probably could have just, dropped us this year and made us do it next year. So the adapted placement for us, they postponed it, they changed the hospital I would do it at, all of that just to give us a shot. So I can't thank the university enough for what they've done for me this year. And I'm sure it's the case for a lot of other people here today as well. And also my family and close ones were a massive support during this time for me this year. And I'm sure it's the case for a lot of people here today, and I think that's where I learned probably the most important lesson from my time down here in Chester, and that's how much you have to value those that are close to you, because that's what gives you the strength to get through very challenging times of which we are all going to face. So big shout out to everyone's close ones who are here today or who are watching online. You guys deserve a lot of credit, and I think our achievements here today are as much yours as they are ours, so thank you. And just to finish off, we're all going to face challenges in life now moving forward. It's not going to be easy. But despite that, I believe everyone here can face those challenges and overcome them. So what I say now is create a vision for your life of what you want moving forward and pursue it. Your destiny now is truly in your own hands, so make the most of it and use these skills you've developed at university now, not only in your career, but to keep yourself healthy, to look after your finances, and maybe most importantly, look after each other and support each other along the way, as it doesn't take a lot of encouragement to help those who really need it, and people are way stronger when they come together. So I wish everyone the best adventure moving forward. And yeah, one last round of applause for everyone. Thank you.
John, thank you so much for that. Where have you gone? Oh, there you are. Thank you so much for that inspiring words, and what a truly fabulous ambassador you are for this university. We're really proud of you. Thank you. So, good morning, everybody. I'm Professor Helen O'Sullivan. I'm Provost at the University of Chester. And it's my great pleasure and privilege to address you all in this wonderful cathedral, both physically and virtually to those who are watching, as we mark your individual and collective success. You're now part of an institution that prides itself with a history being based in this magnificent city for nearly 200 years. This sense of place has been at the core of your time with us, and you've become part of our university community located in Chester and across our region in university centres in Birkenhead, Warrington, Shrewsbury and Rees-Heath. Together, we gather not only to acknowledge the completion of your academic journey, but to recognise the countless hours of hard work, dedication and passion that you've brought to this moment. Your graduation is not just accumulation of that effort, but a testament to your potential and to the boundless opportunities that lie ahead. Success is not just about personal achievement. It is about the impact that you make on the world and the lives you touch along the way. We celebrate your success, not just in achieving your degrees, of which you should be justly proud, but in developing so many skills, qualities, attributes and strengths as citizen students of the University of Chester. You are now each contributing to the world, a world that is uncertain and which faces many challenges, but one for which you are very well prepared. You'll find your way and you'll make your mark following your time at Chester. Adversity is inevitable in your professional journey, and I know you will utilise the skills of resilience and problem solving that you've developed at Chester throughout your career. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Learn from your mistakes, adapt and keep pushing forward, and always strive to do what is right, even when that is difficult. The University of Chester and faculty colleagues take great pride in your accomplishments, and we have every confidence that you will go on to achieve greatness. This is your day, a day to remember and to recognise those achievements. I'm thrilled to be able to mark both the successful completion of your studies and your personal contribution to your chosen discipline and to society. For those of you attending placements in health and social care settings during your studies, you've helped make a difference to so many lives, often in the most trying circumstances, and the university and our wider community deeply appreciates all that you have done. As many of you are aware, our university strategy centres around the concept of the citizen student, giving you a personalised and purposeful time with us. You've certainly had to make a personal journey over the last few years, and your own sense of purpose, getting involved, demonstrating exceptional resolve and resilience, and always learning is why you are here today. As students from the Faculty of Health, Medicine Society, you have studied across a wide range of programmes related to health and well-being, applied social and behavioural sciences and medicine. Many of you during your studies have contributed to local and regional health services that make a real difference to communities. As a university, of course, we're proud of all of our graduates, but perhaps most especially those of you who've recently taken on new roles as registered health professionals and social workers, who we know will continue to make a very significant difference in other people's lives. Professor Dame Jenny Harris, a visiting professor at the university here, acknowledged the special contribution that those with an interest in helping others professionally make to society. In acknowledging her place in the 2022 New Year's Honours list, she said, "It is accepted on behalf of the countless brilliant and committed colleagues in clinical and scientific communities, as well as those who provide such dedicated operational responses through every health protection, incident and emergency. This is for those who have inspired and supported me throughout my career and who continue to work tirelessly to make the UK a safer place, often largely out of sight of the public." Her words are a tribute to all of you here today. Whether a newly registered clinician or an applied behavioural or medical scientist, your achievements are quite simply outstanding. Whatever your circumstances, there can be no doubt that you've thrived during your time at the University of Chester and that you're now well prepared to face an exciting and rewarding career. Delivering education programmes within universities is a complex endeavour, and there are many academics, technicians and professional service staff who I know invest a huge amount of time and personal commitment to supporting students on our programmes. Many of those are in the audience today and are eager to celebrate your success with you. It is also important to recognise that there are people outside the university that have helped you to frame your learning experiences, those that have supported you on field trips, at competitive sport events, and employers who connect directly with us in delivering your programmes. Indeed, those of you who've studied to register as a health professional will have spent up to half of your university time on placements in clinical practice. In these environments, you have been supported by registered health professionals, all of whom share a passion for education applied to practice, whilst working as members of the integrated care system across Cheshire and Merseyside, delivering frontline care. As partners in the delivery of our programmes, representatives from these organisations are also sharing in your celebrations today. Without their commitment and dedication to supporting the University of Chester in our practice settings, we would quite simply be unable to offer our suite of health professional programmes. And so today, I think it's especially important that we recognise and acknowledge all of those staff within the university and our partner organisations who have walked that extra mile to support you on your learning journey. Please join me in thanking them all for their commitment to your education and your future success. There are a few more heartfelt thank yous that I must make. To the professional services staff who have looked after you in so many ways, some of which you may not even be aware of. To our governors who help guide this institution. To everyone who's made this ceremony such an occasion for you, including the Dean and Chapter of this great cathedral for hosting us. To the people closest to you who supported you through your studies. But mostly to those of you graduating today for choosing the University of Chester in the first place. Today, in this wonderful setting with the splendour and the fanfares, we want to give you a day to remember forever. You are why this university exists, and I look forward to seeing you afterwards. You always deserve a huge round of applause. So, what comes next? Well, I hope the first thing you will do is remember to keep in touch with us. Please make sure that you start following us on social media at Chester Alumni, because today you celebrate becoming part of a community that is over 100,000 strong. That's not the alumni celebrationary fanfare, that noise there. Our alumni relations team is here to keep you connected to your university. So it's not just the end, but a beginning of a different and special relationship. Please make sure to visit them in the marquee and collect your alumni gift bag. This week we're also launching our Chester Worldwide campaign. We want photos of you and your alumni bag from wherever you are in the world. The benefits of staying connected are many, because within this community could be your next employer, mentor or client. The team will keep in touch, sharing all the latest news from the university and alumni community via the Graduate Shoutout, a monthly e-newsletter for recent graduates. We also want to hear from you and hear how you are getting on. So please scan the QR code in your programme or chat to our relations team to ensure that you're signed up to our super alumni relations community. Whether this has been your first degree, an apprenticeship, full-time, part-time, undergraduate or postgraduate, our careers and employability team is here to support you with your next steps. Perhaps you wish to set up your own business, or you're looking for guidance on a certain industry. Perhaps you want to work abroad, or would you like to consider a graduate trainee scheme? Whatever you're thinking, remember that we have an expert careers and employability team who are still available to you now as graduates in a very important time in your career. So, for those of us here, I look forward to seeing you in the marquee on the Cathedral Green to celebrate. For those of you watching around the world, thank you so much for sharing our graduates' achievements. And to you, our newest alumni, as you embark on your professional careers, I want you to remember the significance of the skills and knowledge you've acquired at the University of Chester. They are not just tools for employment, they are instruments for change, for progress, and for making a positive impact on societies across the world. The future is yours. Own it well, and congratulations once again. You will always be part of the University of Chester, and the University of Chester will always be part of you.
I declare closed this congregation for the presentation of degrees and awards. Salva sit universitas nostra quod pregantes consugamus.